Chapter 6, Section 7, Simple Interest. Our objective is for students to solve problems involving simple interest. What is interest? Interest is an amount of money that is charged for borrowing or using money, or an amount of money that is earned by saving money. So simple interest. So simple interest is money paid only on the principal. And the principal is the amount of money deposited or borrowed. So simple interest is the money paid only on the amount first put in to the bank in this case. So our formula is interest is equal to principal times rate times time, or I equals PRT. You can see interest goes with I, principal goes with P. A rate of interest as a decimal goes with R, and time, years that money earns in interest, goes with T. So in example 1, it says find the missing value. We are dealing with simple interest formula, so the first thing I'm going to write down is my formula, I equals PRT, and I'm going to look at what it's asking me to find, which is interest, so will have I all the way throughout. My principal, I'm going to substitute it in for P, so I'm going to have 225. My rate, which I cannot use as a percent, I have to first change it into a decimal, so my decimal's here, so I'm going to move 2 places to the left. So I'm going to have 0.03. My time is already in years, so I have times 2 years. This is where we are going to be using a calculator today. I have 225. I'm going to go ahead and do it this way because I don't have one handy. So that's 450 and 0.03. So my interest will equal $13.50. You should be able to notice that all we are doing is we're taking a formula and we're plugging into it. So here we have another problem. If you notice, they're asking for rate. So we're going to have an interest in this one. So I write down my formula first. I equals PRT. My interest is in here for 300. My principal goes in for P, so I have 1,000. My rate is R. My time is 5 years. So I'm going to first do my multiplication here and get 5,000 R. Then I'm going to divide by 5,000, 2 zeros. So I end up with R is equal to 3 divided by 50. So to find my rate, I have to actually do this out. 3 inside, 50 on the outside, decimal, 0. Bring up my decimals. 50 cannot go into 30, so I have to add my 0 here. Bring down a 0. 50 can go into 300 6 times. Move my decimal 2 places to the right to become a percent. So this is equal to, well, I will write it as this first. So I'll first write it as my decimal, as 0.06, which turns into 6% is my rate. Example 2 says Olivia deposits $7,000 in an account that earns 7% simple interest paid annually. About how long will it take for her account balance to reach $8,000? So I'm going to start off with writing what I know. So Olivia deposits $7,000. So what she deposits is her principal that earns 7% simple interest. So my rate is 7%. So I will turn this into a decimal of 0.07 by moving my decimal 2 places to the left. How long will it take for her account balance to reach 8,000? So we want it to equal 8,000 on total. This is going to be a 2-step problem. First, we have to find our interest, and then we have to add that to what we already had in order to come up with our final amount in the account. For instance, we know that our account balance A will equal the interest and plus the principal. We know the principal, but we don't know the interest yet, so we have to go find it. So I'm going to come in here. I have I equals PRT. P being 7,000, rate being 0.07, and time, I don't know. So right now I'm looking at this and I have two variables, and I have to ask myself, is there any way that I can actually find the interest? Well, if I take the account balance that I want, which is 8,000, it's equal to the principal of 7,000 plus the interest. I'm going to have to solve for this principal amount, or I'm going to have to solve for this interest amount by taking away the principal that we already know. So 1,000. So we want to earn $1,000 in interest. So now since I know what I is, I'm going to plug it in here. And I will be able to solve for T. So I'm going to come over here, do my work. Again, you are going to be doing this with a calculator. It's 490. So now I have to divide by 490 on both sides. And I will get T is equal to 2.04 years. So this is approximately 2 years until she is able to earn that $1,000 on her original $7,000 principal amount. So our homework is on page 364, 6 through 18, starting with number 6. They have I equals a box, so that means that's what we're looking for. P equals 600, R equals 7%, T equals 2 years. I'm going to go ahead and change this rate over to a decimal because that's the first thing I have to do. I'm going to write down my equation, I equals PRT. I'm looking for I, so I just leave it here. My principal is 600 times my rate of 0.07 times my time of 2 years. So I'm going to start with taking 600 times 2 to get 1,200. So 1,200 times 7, 2 decimal places, $84. So our interest is equal to $84.